Okay. My name is Karen Kleinwort, and I am the founder of the Women's Business Resource Community over on getbizsavvy.com. We are a village of like-minded women who come together to collaborate, to receive the support and the coaching and the resources they need to build a thriving business. We do these live trainings every Tuesday in order to provide real hands-on advice, support, direction, and and for those that are members inside of our community, they actually get to join live via Zoom. They have the Zoom link where they can jump in and actually participate and get hands-on live immediate coaching at no extra cost, which is beautiful, right? That's part of being of service and having that service heart and allowing us to make a real impact on those that we serve, especially with these trying times right now. It can be so challenging for a lot of us. So today we're focusing on a 14-day social media like sprint, like a visibility sprint. So we're going to walk through really understanding what a clear picture for visibility looks like, and see where we might be leaking in our visibility. We're going to walk through 6 simple discovery plays, we call them, and that you can kind of rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. And then we'll go through like 14 ready to use prompts that you can be using inside your social media platforms. So in the chat, if you're here live, let me know if you're watching. I'd love to see who's here. And then also see in my here I can see, but we'll see what a delay. There might be a delay for that, so we'll just kind of wait and see. But let me know where you guys are finding what social media platform feels most important to you right now. Is it Facebook? Is it Instagram? Is it LinkedIn? Is it TikTok? Is it something else? Like, I don't use Snapchat. I mean, like, I have an account there just because my kids are on it. And sometimes I can get a hold of them faster through that than I can through a text message. Crazy, but that's our life. That's where we are today, right? But when you think of that platform, right? So I'm going to use TikTok as an example because I'm kind of like just new at diving in on TikTok. Sometimes I feel like I'm late to the game over there, but it's good. It's fine. Like I know it's my gap. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how visible do you feel that you are on that platform? Like for me right now with TikTok, I'm like at a 0. Like I am like, I'm not visible at all, right? Like I don't show up on anybody's For You page, and I'm okay with that because I'm still learning it. Whereas Facebook, that's where I'm the most active, because that's where, when I think of my avatar, when I think of my ideal client, that's where they spend a lot of their time, their productive time, right? So when I'm doing something like this, like my visibility is likely 7 or an 8 most days, and I can base that on the data that I get. So when you think of your own visibility on that platform that you feel is most important to you, where are you guys on a scale of 1 to 10? Where do you think you are? I'm just going to see if I can get it on my phone so that way I can actually monitor the comments live instead. But it's still not showing up on my phone, which is kind of crazy. So we'll just see. Okay, it's a distraction, but I like to make sure I can monitor the comments. So that's where my distraction is. These trainings that we do every week, right? The lunch and learns, I try and keep them within that 30-minute period because I want you guys to be able to grab your lunch, or if you're on the West Coast and it's early in the morning, grab a coffee and listen in, tune in. And even if you're doing something else while you're listening in, you're still going to be learning, right? You may not be active, but you'll still be learning. So the 30 minutes is long enough where we can really kind of get it jam-packed, but not too overwhelming. And also that 30 minutes keeps me on track. It keeps me focused, right? So some of you that kind of joined, I was lighting a candle at the very beginning, and I know people say, why do you light a candle? It's like, it's kind of like a trigger for me to say, oh, I'm switching gears. I'm going into the mode of teaching, of training, of connecting live with people. So it gives me that focus. So Hi, Roxy. And for those that are new, my dog Roxy likes to come on and distract me as well. So you'll notice sometimes I may have to get up and let her out to go potty, but we just roll with it. That's what these lives are about, right? Um, so let's think of doing first step of what's your visibility? Let's do a quick visibility audit, right? Why is your current stuff, your current posts, why isn't it reaching new people? Why aren't you bringing new people in? And I ask myself this all the time, like, what do I need to be changing? What do I need to be adapting to be able to reach a broader audience? Because we're always learning. If you think you already know everything about something, then I hate to tell you, but you don't, because things change all the time, right? So I don't know where she went off sometimes. So one, we have to recognize the difference between what it means to nurture and what it means to actually discover, right? So nurture content and your discovery content, because nurturing is where you're already connecting with people. People already have found you. So that content is aimed towards them who are already there, who already say, I know her. I'm showing up for her. I'm going to be there. I know every Tuesday at noon she's going to do this live training. I may not know what topic it's on, but I know I can show up and learn something. So that's what the nurture content is about, right? That's what these Tuesday live trainings are for. It's not about new people discovering me. It's about nurturing those that have already known me. Whereas discovery content, that's where we're attracting new people, where new people find us, find not just us, but our brand. So most of us, and I say us because I include myself in it, right? Is we do some nurturing, right? Where we're posting tips, quotes, so maybe a promo or something, but it's it's not intentional, right? There's no intentional discovery layer associated with that content. And it's why we feel that sometimes we're spinning our wheels. Because it's like, I'm doing all of this stuff. I'm doing all this social media content. I'm doing all this marketing content, but I just keep hitting the same people over and over and over. And I fall into that trap, right? Because I do my nurturing content, my trainings, but how do I change that? How do I become more intentional with that discovery where I can reach more people? Right? So if you've got a pen and paper, great. If you're driving and listening, don't do this. Think about, if you've got a pen and paper, I want you to think about these two pieces and write them down. Right? It's just two questions. In the last 7 days, how many times did you post anything on your main platform? So when you identified that main platform at the beginning, how many times did you post there? And if you want to drop it in the chat, awesome. And see, this drives me crazy, but we're just gonna roll with it. That's my distraction. Is I want you to think about how many times did you post? What, anything, doesn't matter what it is. What did you post? How many times did you post? And then how many times did you intentionally go out and meet new people or start new conversations in the last 7 days? So write that down. So my main platform is Facebook. So I'm posting every day, multiple times a day, right? How many times did I intentionally go out and meet new people? Ooh, wow. Full transparency, I likely, maybe twice, maybe twice. And that might be generous. But we are hardest on ourselves, right? But that might be generous. So have you given people a clear next step in the last week? Because we're talking about all those interactions, that content that you've posted. Have you given, because we're talking about discovery, how many times have you given a clear next step, like follow, comment, join a list? Think about that. How many times have you done a clear next step? And we know, right, call to actions are really important, but are they clear? Are we telling people what they need to do? Because when we're doing anything to share, right, it's you need to tell them what you're going to tell them, and then tell them what you just told them. So when we think about our content that we're sharing, are we intentionally giving them a clear next step or not? Right? Visibility isn't about posting more, right? And I know so many, social media experts are all about like post every day, 5 times a day on TikTok, 3 times on Instagram, blah, 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 right? And they have this formula and it's supposed to be this magic formula. But visibility isn't about posting more. It's about doing a few intentional actions that put you in front of new, aligned clients, people, humans, peers. Insert what you want, right? And that's what we're going to focus on for this 14-day sprint is making sure that you're doing intentional actions that put you in front of new people. All right, so we're going to walk through 6 discovery plays. And yeah, you guys are going to be like, oh my God, give it up, Karen. Just stop. You're not going to see it on your phone. You're not going to be able to monitor your the comments. Oh, look, I found it. I had to do that. All right. Okay, I had to find it. Now I get to see who's in our Savvy Women's Facebook group. Thanks, Sharon. I see you. Okay. So let's go through 6, right? These are going to be actionable, repeatable steps that you basically can rinse and reuse and start to use. Okay. And the first one, and we call them discovery plays because we already have too much work on our plate. So these need to be fun. They need to be, you need to look at this as enjoyable, because if it's not enjoyable, why the hell are we doing this? Right? So we got to love what we do. It's got to be fun. It's got to fill our buckets when we're doing what we do. Right? And as nervous as I get doing these live trainings, these fill my buckets, knowing that I can share what I know and make an impact and hopefully make a difference in you and your business so it can thrive and grow and become exactly what you envision it to be, right? So it's got to be fun. That's why we're calling these 6 steps, discovery plays. Okay? Because we want to play. We want to have fun. So the idea of commenting and connecting, right? That's the first one. We want to be thoughtful about what we're commenting on other people's posts. The thumbs up, the heart emoji response is great, but is it meaningful? Right? So instead of scrolling and liking 50 different people's posts, right? You want to pick 3 to 5 posts where you can leave something that is meaningful in their comments. And you want to make sure it's where your ideal, right, your avatar, your ideal client, that client persona you have filled out. And if you don't know who your perfect client is, your ideal client, then let me know. I've got a free resource that I can send you guys, and it's an avatar alignment, and it's a workbook that you fill out, and you can figure out exactly who your client is and where they reside on social media. So instead of just scrolling, you want to pick 3 to 5 people, and you want to leave a meaningful comment. And it's not like, hey, great job, congratulations. It's something impactful that that people are going to stop the scroll to read your comment. That's what you want to think about. So, and it could be in groups. It doesn't matter what platform you're on. It could be in a group. It could be on somebody who does something that complements your business on their business page, right? Or on the hashtags that you follow. So an example might be, love how you explained this. My clients often struggle with blank, getting seen on social media as well. I often suggest that they start with blank, leaving comments, meaningful comments, right? So That's an example, right? It's more than just one or two words. It's actually a full sentence. That's what you're looking for with these meaningful comments, right? Or another example might be, this is such a helpful perspective. I'm curious, how do you suggest people handle XYZ, whatever the post might be about? What you're trying to do is you're leaving an open-ended question to start an engagement, to start a conversation. Because again, that's how you expand your network. That's how you start to get discovered, right? So what you're aiming for with this first discovery play is 3 genuine, authentic comments per day. This isn't something where you have to spend hours doing. Remember, this is a bite-sized task that is enjoyable because you're seeking out to one, share and make connections, right? We thrive as humans, we thrive on connections and that human connection. So let social media be social, right? So just 3 comments a day. If you can get 5 in, awesome. All right. Number 2, discovery play number 2, a value post with a very clear CTA call to action, right? This is about creating one strong piece of value content with a specific invitation, right? So, and I think this is where some of us, and again, I say us because I do include myself, because again, we're learning, right? We're not perfect. We're learning. We're expanding our knowledge base, right? So what is a common struggle that your clients or customers might struggle with? And can you share then 1 to 3 tips to help solve that struggle or that challenge? And then make it a clear expectation of what you want them to do. What action do you want them to do? Right? Comment, save, share, right? And I know right now there's a lot of people over on TikTok saying, oh, press all the buttons over here, right? Follow, like, share, etc., comment, blah, blah, right? Do all of the things. Well, when you tell somebody to do all of the things, what do they end up doing? Nothing, because it's too much work. So your clear call to action needs to be easy, simple. And with that post, what is the main thing you want them to do? What is the main thing you want them to take action on? Are you trying to increase your follow numbers? Are you trying to increase just the engagement where you want them to like the comment or the post, right? Make it simple. Use the KISS method. It's super important because we are all overwhelmed with social media and all the things that we need to be doing. So make it simple. Make it simple for them to interact with you. So an example might be this, right? So you always have that hook. It always starts with a hook, right? Feeling like you're posting and no one cares. I resemble that comment, right? Tip 1, speak to one person, not everyone. Tip 2, use stories and real examples. Tip 3, end with a question or next step. And then your comment, right? Your call to action is comment visibility if you want my 14-day checklist. Like this post if this made sense to you. Share this with somebody who has the same struggle or challenge about their posts. But the key is 1 value post a week with 1 clear call to action. Again, these discovery plays are about making them doable, not making your life overwhelmed where you hit burnout the next day. Okay? So that's discovery play number 2. Discovery play number 3, conversations, starting a story, right? So the idea of this discovery play is creating a short story post that you're opening a conversation. Okay? Instead of just teaching. Like the reason why I allow our savvy women inside the Women's Business Resource Community to join live, 1, it's one of the benefits of being a member. But 2, I don't want to just be a talking head. right? So I stream it live inside the Facebook group. So those savvy women who there are able to ask questions and comment, and I can interact with them, right? I don't want to just be a talking head. I want it to be interactive with these lunch and learns. One, it deepens the training. It puts me in the hot seat and forces me to make sure I know what I'm talking about. And sometimes if I'm not sure of an answer, I'll be honest, I'll be vulnerable. I'll know my limits, right? But I'll research and get back to the person. So you want to be able to tell a story when you're making these posts, right? Because stories are where people make the connection with you. And it's not just your tips. Oh, do you hear that? My laundry's done. The beauty of working from home, I can hear my machine singing. I don't know how to turn that song off. So stories are what connects us. And when we speak from the heart and we really allow ourselves to be authentic and genuine when we're telling our stories, then it hits people differently and they remember it, right? So it might be where you're sharing like a mini before and after story related to visibility or feeling invisible online, right? If we're using that, that example that we had used in the last discovery play, right? Of not being seen. So prompt examples, right? Like if we're thinking about how do we start, right? We need a prompt to help us kind of get over the hump of what are we gonna say, what are we gonna share, right? Tell a story about a time you felt invisible in your business. What shifted? Or share a behind the scenes moment that you're doing the work that you're helping clients with. And then you end the little story with, has this ever happened to you? Or tell me if this felt similar. Did it feel like you? Right? So the idea here is with this one is, again, just one story post a week. So 3 meaningful comments a day, right? Where you're making a full sentence comment. Once a week, you're doing a value post. Once a week, you're doing a story post. So are you starting to see the theme? We want to make sure that these discovery plays allow you to complete them easily and almost effortlessly. Everything takes an effort, right? We have to insert ourselves somewhat. There's a cost, an energy cost, everything we do. And it's this exchange of energy. So it's gonna make you do a little bit of work, but we're not making you do a ton of work. Okay? Because this is about getting discovered. All right, so discovery play 4. We're talking about DMs. Now, I want to preface this. Direct messaging people, our inboxes are, to me, the second most intimate place that we can interact with. Whoops, I just hit my desk. Did you hear that? Everything. Interact with people. The most intimate is when we text them, if we have their cell phone numbers and we're text messaging them, because that's our real personal space, right? Our direct messages is the second most intimate place. So I want you guys to think about when we're talking about this direct message, kind of making that reconnection as one of our discovery plays. I want you to really make sure when you do a direct message, you have permission. Because this is about reconnecting. This is not about, going in cold and saying, hey, you don't know me, but here's some information and selling them, right? Cold DMing is very disrespectful. You need to have permission to direct message. And so just like inside of my Savvy Women's group, every single person that responds to some of the questions is who gets a direct message. If they don't answer one of the 3 questions with a yes or a maybe, I do not enter their direct messages. I respect that space. So you want to use the privilege, and it is a privilege, to be inside of somebody's messaging app. That it has to be somebody who you are already connected with. who it is already, when we're talking business lingo, leads, connections, right? That they are already warm. They are already in your system. So it's somebody that you've had a connection with in the past that maybe didn't follow through and buy from you or didn't partner with you, but you had conversations in the past. It's somebody that might be an old client or an old customer or a long lost follower, right? You want to set parameters around who are you going to allow yourself to interact with in the direct message. So that's what you have to preface. So let's think about, how do you create that connection? Because you want to reconnect, right? So it could be like, hey, Karen, I was thinking of you today. How are things going with you? And then the topic that you had been discussing before, right? You want to reference the previous conversations. So that way they're like going, oh, I remember now, right? I just taught a live on this topic of 14-day visibility, and it reminded me of our conversation, right? So all you're doing is you're making that connection again. You're making it relevant to today, to what you're doing today. You're making it also reflective on what your relationship was in the past. So it could be as simple as like, hey, Karen, it's been a while. What are you working on this business, this quarter in your business? How's your business going? It could be an open-ended question like this. These messages are a no pitch message. This is all about making the connection. So this is how you are starting to see kind of one of my boundaries. If somebody cold DMs me, I block them immediately. If you are not part of my community, then chances are that cold DM, unless you are referencing something that we have in common. Hey, Karen, we're part of the same Facebook group, and I saw your recent post, and I wanted to connect with you and have more of a conversation about it offline. Those don't get blocked. But hey, Karen, I'm running this, event. Do you want to come to it? I have a free ticket. Those I block, because what they've done is they've friend requested me, they've sent me the DM within 30 seconds, and then they've cold pitched me on something. Free or paid, it doesn't matter, right? You have to have boundaries around your DMs, and whatever your boundaries are for your own direct messages, you have to reciprocate that to the people you want to reconnect with. Oh, all right. Your goal with direct messages for the week, right, is 3 to 5 reconnection messages on 3 separate days, right? When we're thinking of this 14-day sprint, 3 different days, identify when you're going to reach out to 3 to 5 old contacts and reignite that conversation with them. All right, that took longer than I wanted, but I had to really make sure that I was clear about my feelings regarding direct messages and you guys jumping into them. Okay, this is not cold selling. Please, not cold selling. All right, discovery play 5. You want to engage in a shared space. So we've been mentioning Facebook groups, right? If you have identified people within the same group that you're in that are of like mind, that could fit that, perfect ideal client persona, then you want to start showing up in the community where they're at. So then that way you can start to engage organically in their posts. Okay. So think of a group or a membership site, right? So inside the Women's Business Resource Community, we have chat groups that are inside the community where you can engage and connect with other members. So it could be a place like that. It could be different places in Facebook, or like I know Substack has some subscription and chats that happen. So think about the platform that you identified at the very beginning and see how are you able to then connect in a shared space, right? You want to make sure when you show up in that shared space, you're not the spammer. And you know what I'm talking about, right? You do not want to be the spammer. You do not want to be the profile that is like going, oh God, here she goes again. Right? You want to be a contributor. You want to make meaningful contributions to the group. Why? Yeah, it's a question. Why? Because you want to be memorable in a positive way, right? You want to be able to answer questions that are thoughtful. You want to share helpful tips on a promo or a wins post, right? You want to attend lives and comment and be active. If there are live streams happening, if you're commenting, guess what happens? Your profile ends up getting kind of pushed out by those platforms because you're active. Okay. So, one key space. I want you to think about one key space. And then I want you to commit, right? This is over the next 14 days to 10 to 15 minutes where you're intentionally engaging 2 to 3 times. So, shared space, you want to identify one key space. You want to comment, do intentional engagements with that. Okay. All right. Last discovery play. This is your call to action for next step, right? Because you need to tell people what to do. Come be my neighbor inside the Women's Business Resource Community, right? That's what I tell people to do. That's my call to action, right? Because people, what did I say before? You have to tell people what you're going to tell them, and then tell them what you just told them. But you have to be clear. And that third step, you have to be clear, right? So every 2 to 3 days, you want to make sure you're giving a gentle nudge, a next step, to follow, to comment, to join your list, to grab a freebie, right? To DM a certain keyword to get access to something. So examples might be, if you want my 14-day visibility checklist, comment visibility. And I do have a checklist. So if you really do want that visibility checklist, seriously, comment visibility and I'll send it to you guys. Okay. Or it could be, do you want help applying this? Send me the word plan and I'll share the replay link. Right. I'm obviously referencing this training because I put the replay inside of the replay vault. So that way we know on Facebook it disappears after 30 days. TikTok, it gets lost in the stream of all the posts and everything that's going on. So you have to make sure you tell them and it's clear. Don't let them second guess. If they have to overthink that call to action, they will not take action. If it's too complicated, you're giving them permission to step away without taking action. So over the next 14 days, right? Because we're talking this 14-day visibility sprint, right? You want to 5 to 7 times, not every single post. So if you are in the habit of posting multiple times a day on your chosen platform that is most important to you right now, you are not going to do this in every single post. Do you have an idea of why you do not want to do it on every single post? And when you think about that for a second, when you do this call to action every single post, you're giving people a reason to stop tuning into what you're saying because they feel sold to. We all know the social media platforms are all about growing and building our business and gaining new clients, and where it started out originally as making connections with family, friends, and meeting new friends. It's now taken over into, from a small business perspective, right? It's an immediate avenue to your ideal clients locally and internationally. You cannot sell to them every single time you post because you will turn them off. you will push them away and they will stop engaging. They will stop following. They will keep on keeping on scrolling because they don't want to be sold to. None of us want to be sold to, right? So 5 to 7 CTAs, clear, strong, that match your goal, right? Because every CTA has to be aligned to a goal that you are trying to achieve. So 5 to 7 times over the next 14 days. Okay, but you want it to be regular enough that if for some reason you post your CTA on the Monday morning and then you don't post it again until Wednesday afternoon, that whoever may have missed it on Monday morning may be back online and will see it on Wednesday evening. So those are your 6 discovery plays for the next 14 days. So what's your sprint, right? Because you want to turn these 6 elements into a plan. But it's simple. It's not overwhelming. So we're going to walk through 3 steps that you're going to take what we've just gone over and put it into a plan so you can actually take it and run with it. All right. Your first step. And you can take this and you can manipulate it as you want, but this will give you a basic structure and a foundation to jump off and start to work on, right? So choose your home platform, whatever it might be. Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, whatever it might be. What's your home platform? And then you want to, second step, choose your minimum daily action. So during the sprint, my baseline will be, example, 3 meaningful comments per day. That's play 1. Plus 1 extra action on 4 to 5 days per week. What will be your minimum daily action? You want to identify that. You want to commit to that. Step 3 is, what is your 14-day plan? So let's run through. So if you got a pen and paper, you can write these down. You can talk, right? So your 14-day plan can kind of sound like this, and then you can talk about it amongst yourselves, me, myself, and I, right? To refine it and to finalize it. So day 1, it could be 3 comments plus a value post with a CTA. Day 2, 3 comments plus a DM connection for 3 to 5 people. Day 3, 3 comments. Are you getting the hint? 3 comments plus engage in a shared post. 10 to 15 minutes, right? So your first one, that value post, should take you maybe 2 to 3 minutes. And then the second day, you're looking at DM connections, 3 to 5. It could be 7 to 10 minutes. Day 3, you're looking at 10 to 15 because now you're doing the engaging in the shared post space, right? Day 4, 3 comments plus a story post. Day 5, do I need to say it? 3 comments plus a CTA in your stories or caption. Days 6 and 7, 3 comments per day, because now we're guessing it's going to be like a weekend. So you don't want to be always working, right? You want to make sure you have that off time. So 3 comments on day 6 and 7, because that's your weekend days. Okay. Day 8, 3 comments plus a new value post with a call to action. Day 9, 3 comments plus your DM reconnections. Starting to see the pattern. Day 10, 3 comments and engage in a shared space. Day 11, 3 comments plus a story post. Day 12, 3 comments plus a CTA. Day 13, 14, catch up, lighter days, 3 comments per day. Rinse and repeat. You're taking that formula, right? Day 1 through day 6, 7, and you're basically taking it and you're rinsing and repeating every week. Now, the value post obviously is not going to be the same value post every week. You're going to mix it up. You're going to come up with, like, again, you could come up with 8 value posts with a CTA, and you cycle through all 8 over the 8 weeks, and then you switch up for the following 8 weeks. So it becomes a simple foundational structure. So now you've done the visibility audit that we did at the very beginning. We walked through the 6 discovery plays that you can reuse, right? And we've just walked through that 14-day sprint. And this can start today. This is not something that's like, oh, I got to figure all this out and I can start it next week. You can start to take action today, right? So right now, questions. We are kind of like, we're at the 45-minute mark. And I know I went a little bit longer, but I know I kind of got on my high horse there for a few minutes when it came to direct messages. So I apologize, but it's super important to me. That's a hard boundary for me. So questions for you guys inside the Zoom, inside of the Facebook group. That's where I monitor the comments and support you guys. So do you guys have any questions, any scenarios you want to run through? This is where you guys get to put me on the hot seat for a few minutes and ask questions. And if not, it's okay. You guys can post them below the replay inside the group or inside of the town square of the Women's Business Resource Community. All right. If that's all, we might be good. So from my heart to yours, I want to say thank you. I am grateful that you've been here with me. I see, Eva, you joined us inside the group. Thank you. I appreciate you and Sharon showing up. Reach out if you guys have any questions. If you want to take this and need support with it, we can work on that, no problem. If you want that checklist, if you want that visibility structure that we went through those 3 steps, let me know, drop a comment so I can get those to you. Those are available inside the library over inside the Women's Business Resource Community at getbizsavvy.com. You'll be able to find it there under the 14-day visibility plan. If you are a neighbor, all those resources are free. So this is at a benefit of your membership. Okay, outside of that, I just want to say thanks for being here. I appreciate you all. Have a beautiful week. And for those, I guess maybe you guys inside the Facebook group don't know, but on TikTok on Monday and Thursdays, I've been stretching my wings to what we're doing, bake and build. So I take a recipe and I build, I make whatever I'm making, and we and you guys get to watch me learn to bake, like literally, while we talk business. So those are live in TikTok on Mondays and Thursdays. I don't have an exact time. It's just kind of when I can fit it in. So I appreciate you all for being here. Thank you. And I will catch you guys on the rebound. All right. And then thank you again, Sharon and Eva. I appreciate you all. And thanks for being members inside the group. Appreciate you.